On a cold autumn night, beneath the lonely glow of New York's gas lamps, a promise made 20 years earlier was about to be tested, in a way neither man could have imagined. The city slept peacefully. Only one man remained awake, quietly watching over streets that had witnessed thousands of stories. In the shadow of an old doorway stood a man who wasn't hiding from the rain. He was waiting for someone who had made him a promise 20 years ago. A single match lit the darkness, and for the first time, his face could be clearly seen. The officer stopped to ask a simple question. Bob answered with complete confidence, certain that his old friend would arrive. As young men, they had promised that no matter where life took them, they would meet again. 10 o'clock was almost here. Most people would have given up long ago, but Bob never doubted his friend. Then, through the curtain of rain and fog, someone finally appeared. "Jimmy," Bob exclaimed, convinced 20 years had vanished in a single handshake. As they walked, Bob spoke proudly of the fortune he had made, never noticing the quiet differences in the man beside him. Bob spoke with the confidence of a man who believed he had conquered the world. The West had given him everything he had dreamed of: wealth, success, and more stories than one night could hold. Then, beneath a brighter light, Bob looked again, and something no longer felt right. It wasn't the voice, it wasn't the clothes, it was the face, almost familiar, yet undeniably different. Bob stopped walking, he looked into the man's eyes, and quietly said,
"You're not Jimmy."
"I'm not Jimmy.
The man took a slow breath.
I'm a detective."
The man standing before him had come, not as an old friend, but to make an arrest.
"Jimmy asked me to give you this."
The note explained everything. Jimmy had recognized Bob the moment he saw him, but he couldn't bring himself to arrest the friend he had once called a brother. Bob read the letter once, then again. Each word carried the weight of 20 years of friendship. Jimmy had kept his promise. He came, but he also wore a badge, and that changed everything. For the first time that night, Bob truly stood alone. Sometimes, the hardest promise to keep is the one that asks you to do the right thing. Perhaps the greatest test of friendship isn't whether we keep our promises, but whether we do what's right when keeping them becomes impossible.